Hey everyone, welcome back to the A-Level Biology channel, your go-to place for mastering A-Level Biology. Today we're diving into a super important topic, chromosomes and mitosis. If you've ever wondered how cells divide and why it matters, stick around because we're breaking it all down in a way that actually makes sense. Let's start with the basics. The nucleus of a cell contains chromosomes, which are made up of DNA and proteins. These chromosomes hold the genetic instructions that determine everything from your eye color to how your body functions. Fun fact, the word chromosome comes from the Greek language. Chromo refers to colored and some means bodies. Thus, directly translated it means colored bodies. That's because they were first seen as colored structures under a microscope. In humans we have 46 chromosomes in our body cells. These are arranged in 23 pairs, one set from your mom and one from your dad. This is why we say our chromosomes are homologous pairs, meaning they have the same genes at the same location but may have different versions called alleles. A photograph of chromosomes arranged in pairs is called a karyotype. Scientists use this to study genetic conditions and identify abnormalities. When a cell isn't dividing, DNA is loose in the nucleus as chromatin. But before cell division, the DNA condenses into chromosomes, making them visible under a microscope. Each chromosome consists of two identical chromatids joined at a centromere. These chromatids are identical copies of DNA created during a process called DNA replication. There are also special proteins called histones that help the DNA coil tightly so it can fit inside the nucleus. And at the ends of chromosomes we have telomeres which protect the DNA and prevent damage. Cells don't just randomly divide, they go through a structured process called the cell cycle. This cycle has three main phases: interphase, mitosis, and cytokinesis. Interphase is when the normal processes of the cell occurs. During this phase the cell grows, makes proteins, and duplicates its DNA. This is the longest phase. The second phase is the M phase or mitosis phase. The actual division of the nucleus happens here. We'll break this down in a sec. The third phase is called cytokinesis. During this phase, the cytoplasm divides, forming two identical daughter cells. Alright, let's zoom in on mitosis, the process that ensures new cells have the same number of chromosomes as the original cell. There are 5 main stages. Prophase. During this phase, the chromosomes become visible as they condense. The nuclear envelope disappears and spindle fibers start to form. Metaphase is next. Now the chromosomes of the cell will line up in the middle of the cell, attached to spindle fibers at their centromeres. Anaphase is the third phase. During this phase, the spindle fibers pull the chromatids apart to opposite sides of the cell. The last phase is telophase. During telophase, two new nuclei start forming around the separated chromatids and the chromosomes begin to decondense back into chromatin. Finally, the cell fully splits, forming two genetically identical daughter cells. So why does mitosis even matter? Well, it's responsible for 3 processes. 1. Growth. From a single fertilized egg, mitosis helps us grow into complex organisms. 2. Repair. When you get a cut, mitosis replaces damaged cells with new ones. 3. Asexual reproduction. Some organisms like bacteria and plants reproduce through mitosis. Unlike meiosis, mitosis does not increase genetic variation since the daughter cells are identical to the parent cell. Mitosis is tightly controlled by genes, but if something goes wrong, cells can start dividing uncontrollably, leading to cancer. Cancerous cells form tumors, and some can spread to other parts of the body in a process called metastasis. Mutations in oncogenes, genes that control cell division, can lead to uncontrolled mitosis. Things like radiation, chemicals, and viruses can trigger these mutations, leading to cancer. This is why we need to be mindful of carcinogens like UV rays and tobacco smoke. And that's a wrap on chromosomes and mitosis. You now know how cells divide, why it's important, and what happens when things go wrong. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment below, what's the coolest thing you learned today? Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an episode of A-Level Biology. See you next time and keep learning.